Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. For those of you who don't know, my name is Faith, and thank you so much for watching. Today we're going to be talking about my April reading lineup, and we're just going to get right into it. I'm actually currently reading Flawless by Elsie Silver. However, I had anticipated to finish it already. Today is March 26th. I finished Sunrise on the Reaping the day that it came out, and I started Flawless the next day, but Sunrise on the Reaping put me in a book hangover, and I just cannot get into Flawless because I had actually planned to read another book at the end of March, but as of right now, I'm not sure if that's going to happen. But I did read quite a bit of Flawless yesterday, so I might end up finishing it early enough to read another book. At this point, I don't see that happening. So my first read of April is actually going to be Alive at Night by Amelie Reese. If I can squeeze this in at the end of this month, I will somehow in the next 5 days if I can finish Flawless and this. At this point, I really just don't see that happening. You never know. My first read of April, as of right now, will be Alive at Night by Amelie Reese. Immediately following that will be Awake at Dawn by Amelie Reese, and then Attached at Heart by Amelie Reese. So I actually read Awake at Dawn on Wattpad when she was publishing it on there, but I had gotten about halfway through before I realized it was actually a series. And I actually never went back and read the first one because she had taken it down before I could go back and read it, which is totally fine. I really liked this book, and the only reason I'm rereading it is because I know that she said some things were taken out and some things were put in, so it's not fully the same story. So I'm gonna reread it. Plus I really liked it, so I am excited to actually read the entire series because I know the third one was never put on Wattpad because she did switch to just publishing them as books. Even though I've only read Awake at Dawn and when it was on Wattpad, I loved it. Without even reading the other two books, I'm going to tell you all that I recommend this series. Check out my April reading wrapped at the beginning of May if you want to see if I still have that opinion after reading them. I'm going to call it right now, 99% chance I will. So I actually might not read them in that order though, because like I said, if I can squeeze this in between now and March 31st, which will be the day after this video comes out, I may be able to squeeze in both of these before Fearless, because I will be reading Fearless by Lauren Roberts as well, and that comes out on the 8th, and I don't want to get it spoiled, so I do want to read it right when it comes out. I'm most likely gonna have to split it up. I'm gonna probably have to read Fearless either right before or right after this book. Attached at Heart is shorter than both Awake at Dawn and Alive at Night, it looks like. So if I can squeeze Alive at Night in at the end of March, there's a chance, a teeny tiny chance that I will get all of these done before Fearless comes out. I don't really see that happening. I'll be reading these three, and then I'll be reading Fearless, and I have a pretty busy month this month. It's my last full month of college, finally, so I do need to focus on school. Obviously school comes first right now, and I'm a film major. I think I've said that in one of my videos. I'm a film major, so I do have commitments outside of class that I have to be filming things. I digress. That is currently the 4 books that I've planned. I don't see that taking the entire month though. So after either Attached at Heart or Fearless, I will be reading The Striker by Anna Huang. I wanted to read this literally since it came out, but when it came out, I was studying abroad in London, and thank God I didn't buy this when I was over there because both my suitcases and my backpack were packed full. Like there was literally not even an inch of room left. So if I bought that, I would have had to either leave that book behind or another book. I bought 9 books, and that was me holding myself back. It was so crammed full. Shout out to the lady at the airport though, because my suitcase was 5 pounds overweight. I don't know if carry-ons have a weight limit, but if they do, guaranteed they were over it. But my big suitcase that was getting checked, American Airlines has a 50-pound weight limit. My suitcase was actually 55 pounds, meaning I'd have to fork over like I think $100. But at Heathrow Airport in London, you don't like give it to an attendant and the attendant doesn't weigh it. You put it on the scale yourself, and there's like a computer that tells you how much it weighs. But when I put mine on, it was like warning, overweight, some like error or something, get attendant. The attendant was right behind me helping some other guy, so I just like turned to her and she's like, what's the problem? And I was like, it's saying it's overweight. And she's like, oh, how much was it? It said it in kilograms. I do not remember the exactly what it said, but it was like the equivalent of 55 pounds. So I told her what it said, and she's like, oh, that's fine. And she reset the machine to say 15 kilograms. Queen. So sent me through, did not have to pay the $100, but I did eat that because on the flight from Chicago to where I live, they did break my wheel on the suitcase. It completely is busted, so it can't stand anymore, which kind of sucks. But all my stuff made it home safe. Not a single thing I had was damaged other than the suitcase. So I call that a win for a 24-hour travel day. That's a win. Anyways, I digress. So this will be the read after either Fearless or Attached at Heart. And this is a pretty big book. And like I said, I am pretty busy in April, so I'm not sure exactly when I'll finish this. If I have time, I believe King of Envy comes out the 27th. Depending on how long that is and when I finish this, I might squeeze that in at the end. We'll see. So that's my lineup. It's gonna end up being about 5 books, which is more than this month. This month, I'm currently only at 2. I've only finished 2 because I DNF'd a book. My first ever DNF, by the way. I DNF'd a book, finished 2. I'm gonna finish Flawless, so I'll end up reading 3, maybe 4 if I can squeeze another one in. Hopefully April is a better reading month. This month wasn't bad. I just wasted 10 days of the month reading a book that I ended up DNFing. Why it took me that long to DNF? You'll find out next week in my March reading wrapped. Before we wrap things up, y'all know how I love my Boys of Tommen. Y'all know what they are on Boys of Tommen? Irish. You know who's at my house last night? Hot Irish man. A hot Irish man. Roughly my age. You know who's in our field right now? Said hot Irish man. Guys. I just had to share that. I just had to share that with someone because, yeah, y'all know Johnny Kavanaugh's my number 1 book boyfriend. I'm not saying this man is Johnny Kavanaugh, but you know what Johnny Kavanaugh is? Irish. You know what this man is? Irish. Yeah. Anyways, that is all that I have for you guys today. So be sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel and follow my Instagram that is in the description for more bookish content. Love you guys. Bye.